Good morning, friends. Romans counting minutes monetization. I'm Amy from SilentHillCommunity.com and Alchemilla Hospital. You see my wife. And I'm just going to talk about the first week of Silent Hill Ascension, the massive interactive live event. MILE. That stands for, I guess. So, in 2018, Netflix released the Bandersnatch interactive movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. It went along the same lines as the old choose-your-own-adventure books, in that you were able to make some choices for the characters, which would then impact the story, and eventually this would impact which ending you got. Anyway, I liked it, and I even made a fan game based on the game in the movie called Nosedive. And I made that in Unity. Semi-interactive stuff can be done well, that is to say. And I see that GenVid have done other things in this vein. In fact, it's their entire shtick. This could work well for some IPs, such as the superhero ones they have on their page, but I think it's just not a great fit for Silent Hill, in particular. And it's been said before, but the rainbow, it's trauma sticker just feels tone-deaf, and as though it's making fun of the series itself, in addition to making fun of psychological trauma. The bread sticker, on the other hand, is cute, and would have been a nice sticker, just like the artifacts in the also maligned Book of Memories. Book of Memories had butter cakes, a channeling stone, it had the 4 mascots of Lakeside Amusement Park, and many other things like that, and these were cute little additions. But watching a sticker that says, "It's trauma," in rainbow lettering floating up the screen while people in chat talk about Kojima's cummy in their tummy kind of sours the mood a little bit. And the fact that they didn't see this coming initially made me think that this was their first time on the internet, but I guess it's not. It's more that the Silent Hill IP doesn't fit well with their interactive story thing. And they were not a great fit for the series, I think, especially not for this being the first of all the things that were being announced last year in the Silent Hill transmission. And on some level, yes, fans will bash things just to bash things, and when a series goes on long enough, sometimes things will not feel as fresh as they once did. For example, The Simpsons. How has that gone on for this long? I haven't watched it in decades, but I guess it's still happening. And I also liked many of the later games, or at least aspects of them, but this isn't a game, and it also isn't a movie. And I think another problem is that people have trouble, caring about the story if it's split up into these little chunks, and then there's, nonsense between them, and you have to wait a day. I'm not sure that's the best way to present a story. Think of a video game, GenVid's site says. Think of a TV show. A MILE, M-I-L-E, is the best of both. I would disagree, at least in this case. And I would say, rather than massively interactive live event, it's more like minorly interactive, monetized event. MIME. Some of the best parts of video games are when you're actually able to fight and explore the game's world. The best parts of video games are not quick time events or usually cutscenes. Silent Hill has some good cutscenes, like Lisa's death in Silent Hill 1, but these are meant to give you a reason to explore more or to allow you to get to know the characters better, to advance the storyline. They're not the best part. Fighting, exploring, interacting with things, that's usually the fun part of games. And oftentimes people complain about quick time events, in particular. Silent Hill 1 had the piano puzzle, which many fans considered difficult, but it tied in with the story, it made you look for clues and then interact with the environment to get a medallion, which you could then use to advance further in the game. Despite the difficulty of some of the puzzles, there weren't just random cell phone type games, just stuck in there for no reason. And the puzzles in Ascension kind of are random things stuck in there for no reason, and you're locked out of most of them unless you buy their season pass. There's a guitar thing that isn't really great, and there's some, thing that reminded me of Minesweeper, but you connect the stones according to how many numbers are on them. And yes, you get points for showing up and points for doing your one free puzzle per day, but you can either grind along for free and not get many points, or you can buy your way into more points, stickers, and cosmetic upgrades for your avatar. And now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the reason people buy cosmetic upgrades for the character is usually people will see their character, or because they're playing the game using that character. In Ascension, your character is your avatar, but it largely remains unseen and is pretty much useless. The default options are pretty generic and terrible. You can change hair and skin color, some face shapes, and there are like 2 shirts and 2 pair of pants to choose from. You can either have glasses or not have glasses, and that's about it. They're calling the points influence points, but they're voting points, and your vote doesn't really count for much. It can count more if you're a whale and want to spend real money to buy more points, of course. And also, the quick time events and the endurance things, which I endured, at least once there, you don't influence much that either. I mean, even in a regular game when you're playing a quick time event, so you either pass or fail, and it is reflected in what's happening on the screen, whereas when you're only influencing it a little bit, it's like, well, what's the point? You don't have much power over what's happening, and you don't feel very, immersed in it, I guess. And as for the game-like segments, I tuned in tonight to play along with the community. The main problem here, again, is it's not very enjoyable. You can button mash a bit when it says tap, you can press and hold when it says to do that, or swipe across the screen when it shows arrows, and so on. But since the interactivity is extremely limited, it just doesn't feel fun or like you're really influencing all that much. Also, I played on PC, and I think they bragged about the app being the #1 app on Halloween or something. I don't know, I didn't really look at the app. And since the chat was deactivated after the first day, the chat bar is essentially useless now, along with the stickers. A line of stickers on the screen saying, "No way, it's trauma," or "shady," does not add anything to the experience, and I can understand the issue was with the chat moderation, which I think they should have seen coming. We're talking about Kojima's "cummy in their tummy" slurs and so on, and this was happening. But again, this is the internet, and I can see they're new here or something. And it's also distracting from the story. That and the, choppy segments on different days, I don't think that works well for story progression either. Much has been said about the story not being that interesting, so I won't go much into that, and I think I haven't seen enough of it to really make a determination about whether the story's any good or not. The animation isn't the best, but it could be forgivable if the experience had been enjoyable in the first place. But I don't think it really was, even if it had been, chat and stickers don't really add much. And nor does the whole idea of getting your avatar, which already looks a bit shite, into a story that you don't care much about. It doesn't feel like a big reward to me, I don't know. And I think it was the storytelling and immersive atmosphere that most fans loved about the series, and the stickers and live chat only serve to kill any atmosphere it may have had. GenVid does multiplayer live events with group chat and community decisions. And Silent Hill was a gloomy, lonely, one-player game. This simply is not a good fit. And it's not even really GenVid's fault, it's more that this kind of thing probably wasn't going to work well in the Silent Hill universe, no matter how you did it. Which just leads to fans talking about James having a cock ring and wanting Pyramid Head to impregnate them, I guess. And if there's anything good to take away from this, it can remind us of all the reasons why we love the series to begin with. But I don't see myself tuning in for a lot of future live streams. Maybe once or twice to figure out what's going on with the story and develop a point of view about that, perhaps. Goodbye, friends, and thanks for watching. You can support the site via the Etsy shop, and check out the site at silenthillcommunity.com. I'm still, I haven't had time to get the forums back up, though they're still sort of up. You just can't use them right now, so sorry about that. It's monetization.